Hi guys, welcome to Inner Fire. Today we're gonna be talking about a very popular topic, which is how to write an impactful resume. So my name is Lily, and let's just dive right into it. So writing an impactful resume is a topic that is popular, but nobody ever wants to sit down and write a resume, right? I know because I used to feel this way. I did not like to write a resume because it brought out so many like concerns and doubts that I have. Am I good enough for this job? All my insecurities come out, right? So I knew that in the past I would rather do 100 push-ups or maybe jump into a frozen river, but just like don't make me write a resume. But after many years of thinking about this, and I now came up with a pretty simple way to do it, and you actually could have a lot of fun doing this. It's a very thoughtful and reflective exercise. So grab some ice cream and let's jump into this, right? So the first thing I want to talk about is what is the difference between a cover letter and a resume? Do I need both a cover letter and a resume? So personally for me, I do both, and let me explain to you why. A typical recruiter would have maybe about 30 seconds to a minute to look at each resume. That is because they have hundreds of resumes to go through. So imagine you walk into a forest, you're seeing in front of you hundreds of trees, and your job is to pick the right tree. So how do you do this, right? So for me, a cover letter is like the short version of a resume. The way you think about it is that you go to a theater to see the X-Men movie, right? It's 2 hours long. That is the resume. It has a lot of information in it, lots of details. It goes in order, the beginning, the middle, the end, right? But a cover letter is like a 2-minute trailer that you watch on YouTube before you go into the movie theater, right? It's very fast. It's very inspiring. It has all the highlights of the resume. So for me, I do the cover letter to get the attention, and normally if they like the cover letter, then they will choose to read the rest of the resume in more detail. But your job is to write the cover letter in a way that is short, exciting, powerful, so that it gets their attention. And I'm gonna have a different video to talk about the cover letter, so hang in there. Okay, so the first step is to write a short but powerful summary statement. A summary statement is like 1 or 2 sentences that go at the very top of a resume. Why do you need a summary statement? Because it makes you look more human. Because it helps to explain the why you do what you do and not just the what, right? And so it makes the reader feel a bit more connected to you. So it's only 1 or 2 sentences, but it's very hard to write because you need to kind of dig deep and think of what you really want to do, in your life and in your career, so that your summary statement is very short and to the point. Let me give you an example. First, I would start with who you are. Then I would talk about what you want to do, and then what kind of companies you're looking to work for. So this is an example that I would write. I am a passionate and creative go-getter, dedicated to help young professionals building meaningful careers. I would love to work with companies that are that are creating positive impact, leading with brilliant leadership, and solving complex problems. So this is me, and this is what I like to do. So this is what I would say in a summary statement. So let me give you an example. What Elon Musk, he might say, right? Elon Musk is so famous, so he might not need so much of an introduction, but this is what he might say, and this is what I got from Business Insider, and the link is below. Aiming to reduce global warming through sustainable energy production and consumption, and reducing the risk of human extinction by making life multi-planetary and setting up a human colony on Mars. So his visions are out there. He's a crazy, brilliant person. So this is what he might say. The second step is that I want you to go back to the job description and pick out 3 top skills, right? This is very important. Don't write your, and I'm going to walk you through this, but don't write your resume like just by listing out all of your skills. Nobody's going to have time to read all your skills. Go back to find what they're looking for. Normally, a job description, they have like 10 skills they require, or 5 skills they require. Things they're looking for: a good communicator, a good problem solver, somebody with 5 years of engineering experience. They list it out. So go ahead and read through it. Then just pick the top 3 jobs, skills that they are really important, and then we're going to address it in detail. Okay, just pick the top 3. So the next thing you want to do is, for each of the skills they required, you want to write 2 sentences. This is very concise, okay? The first sentence explained what you did, but or what you're currently doing, but use powerful verbs, okay? The second sentence is that write the impact of your work. You need to write the impact of your work, otherwise I have no idea. And give as much numbers as possible. Okay, so let me show you how this is done with examples, okay? So first of all, 100 powerful verbs. I include below a link. Somebody already did all the work for you. And you can start with these powerful verbs in your resume. For example, led, handle, manage, responsible for. These are all very powerful verbs. You don't want to use verbs that are like very passive, like, I work closely with. Well, what does that mean, work closely anyway, right? I have no idea what you're doing there. Or you participate. Participate is a very reactive, like passive verb, right? You want to say you led something, you handle something. So please take a look at this link. It's really cool. Also, there's another link that I include is avoid using the word very. Instead, they are powerful words that you can use instead. Like instead of say very careful, you can say cautious, right? So please take a look at these words. It will help you greatly in your writing. Okay, so let me give you an example of a typical average resume that I see all the time. So let me go ahead and list this out to you. This is just like the first part that she listed out. So this person was working at a legal counsel at a beer company, okay? And she listed all these things out in her job. She drafted contracts, she negotiated contract, she worked with the government, right? Conduct legal training, list all these things out. Now, this is a typical way to write a resume, right? You just go ahead and list everything out. But the problem is, remember, you need to make the job of the recruiter as easy as possible. And the recruiter, they're looking for specific things. What are they looking for? They already listed in the job description. So go ahead, go back to the job description, read it carefully, and then you need to write your resume to match that job description. Don't sit in a dark room by yourself, just blindly list things out. There's another problem with this resume. What is the problem? The problem is that she listed so many things, but she didn't list any impact. No impact. So if without impact, how do I know she did a good job? Right? I don't know if she did a good job. So instead, I would list out like, I have negotiated 100 of contracts, right? Give some numbers, right? Or for example, this very complex contract I was working on typically would take 6 months to write. I did it in 3 months. Okay, so again, some numbers, right? Or you can say things like, the legal training that I did for my company resulted in a savings of $500,000 because the frontline staff avoided costly mistakes. Okay, so you have to list out the impact as much as you can. Otherwise, they have no idea what you've done. So let me give you a bit more examples. Okay, so like for example, this job is looking for a person that is training for the company. Like somebody that comes in and provide training. So they're looking specifically somebody who have design and organized training. That's what they said in the job description. And this is what the person wrote, which is very powerful, and the person got past the first round into an actual interview. The answer is that the person had a team of content experts and L&D executives, so they headed a team, right? And then the second sentence, if you read this, it says the person successfully directed 15 locals and overseas leadership programs. So they list out the numbers of trainings that are conducted with NPS, which is a survey score of 75 and higher satisfaction rate, which is really high. Okay, so again, there's clear impact and it's easy to understand, and it addresses directly what the company is looking for. So this is a very good example. The next one is that the skill, I'm going to give you a different example. And remember that your job is to make the recruiter's job easy. Okay, so make it easy for them. So this job listed at, I'm looking for somebody who have experience working in Asia. And this is what the person wrote, right? I have extensive experience covering 10 Asian countries. They list out all the countries. And then the second sentence is the impact sentence. And because of my work, I was responsible for unlocking growth for a global skincare brand, right? So this is, the first sentence is about what you did. And then the second sentence is about impact, and give as much numbers as you can. So this is the next example, which is my example, I believe. Yes, they're looking for somebody with sales experience. And this is, I would say, I was in charge of entering the Vietnamese market, working with chief information officers. And the second sentence is impact sentence. In 3 years, I turned Vietnam into one of the most successful markets in Asia, winning 10 large local accounts, exceeding 130% growth every year. Okay, very clear. So, but like you might ask me, well, I'm a fresh grad or I'm a college student. I don't have so much experience. What would I do? You can rely on your actual classes that you've done. So let me give you an example. This person is a fresh grad from San Jose State University, and he listed out that in my electrical design class, I designed some model. Right, so the first part is he explained that he designed a circuit board, and then the second sentence is the impact sentence. So my board was one of the 3 smallest boards and finished in the shortest amount of time. Right, so the second one is is impact sentence. And if you are a college student, please listen and volunteer as much as you can. Do as much internship as you can, because anything will help to give a concrete example, and it will help you to have a competitive advantage among your classmates. Okay, I'm going to end here with going over Elon Musk. I did not do this resume. Someone else did it. The link is below. Please read that. But, Elon Musk is one of the guy who's probably going to help us save the world, right? And even then, we can write his resume in 1 page. So you don't need a long resume. The shorter it is, the better. The shorter it is, the better. So I just show this to you so that you have an idea, so that you could, you should write a very short resume. Short resumes actually take longer time to write. Shorter resume takes longer time to write, but you're helping the recruiter. They will thank you, trust me. Okay, so let me give you an example on this. So if the second one, he's a CEO of Tesla Motors, right? And the first part, he described what he does. So currently oversees a company product strategy, right? Then the last sentence is impact. And the car got the Global Green 2006 Product Design Award. That is the impact. I mean, this car is amazing. You can do the impact. You can, write so much more. You can, you can say like this car is probably gonna help us save the planet, or things like that, right? It's really awesome stuff. I'm a huge fan of Tesla, and of course, it's so sexy just to look at the car, right? So, but the second sentence should be impact sentence, okay? So if we can write his resume in one page, your resume should also be in one page. So take a look at this. Now, the question that a lot of people ask is that, do I have to customize every resume for every job? So the answer is that you should. If the jobs that you're applying for are similar, like you're just applying for product management roles, and there's similar job requirements, and you don't need to edit it so much. But if you're applying for different jobs completely, like for example, I apply for a sales job now, but I could also apply for a job in education, then I need to redo my resume to really address it, right? So depending on like how different of the jobs you're applying for. But generally speaking, please refer back to what they're asking for in the job description and make sure you highlight it. But I always would customize my cover letter, which is, please watch the other video. Okay, so just to summarize, this is the end. I just want to summarize. The key takeaway point is, please keep it very short. Keep it one page. Shorter it is, the better. You need to be passionate. Your summary statement needs to shine through. Like, this is what I love. And then you need to clearly list the impact. Yeah. So any further questions, just ping me on my Facebook and LinkedIn page, and I'll be happy to take a brief look at your resume and give you some feedback if I have time. But watch this video first before you do that, and follow all my suggestions. Yeah. I wish you all the very best and have a great day.